Hey, what is up, guys? Alex here, and welcome back to another video. It's been quite a long time. It's been about 2 months since I've posted a video. What? Well, to inform you, I've been on vacation for the past month, so I have an excuse for that. But for the past month, I don't have an excuse. So sorry for not posting videos. I've been very busy with coding and plugin development, and just other stuff like school in general. But today we're back with a very cool and interesting video. I bought this game on the Steam sale. I heard it's pretty cool. Never played it, never seen anyone play it. It's called the Stanley Parable. Apparently it just messes with your mind when you play it and stuff. So I'm willing to try it. It's really cool. The monitor just like replicates what we're doing. Like a Steam overlay came in and even showed that. So oh yeah, by the way, I'm trying a new camera setup, like from to the left sort of angle. So I don't know if you guys are you liking it or no? Tell me in the comments below. And yeah, let's begin the game. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end. Because it says the end and then it continues on. Maybe, I don't know. I'm having trouble looking at the camera, like focusing on looking at it, because my face preview is like right on the bottom. So I look at that too. But yeah, my usual recording software didn't work with this. So I have to use OBS, which is what I use to stream to record this game, because I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't want to work.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ooh.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, that's a bit creepy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Where's Stanley? Wait, no, I don't want to step out of my office. The motion blur though. Hello? Can we open these? No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where is the meeting room? I know work here. Alright, let's see. Wait, what is this? Wait, can we jump? No, we can't jump. Can we crouch? We can crouch. Can we run? I don't think so. Can FPS lag be more of a problem? I think so. Is this the meeting room? I'm so stupid. Wait, what does it say? I hate Mondays. Of course, who doesn't? Can we open anything, or do we just go straight ahead?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, he entered the door on his right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
But I went to the right. I didn't go to the left. Is this a horror game?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
I mean,
Stanley
it's nice
simply
and all.
stood here, drinking it all in.
I want to drink it all in. Okay. Guess not.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't. What do you mean? He's telling you what to do.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Here's the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Tips for not
Stanley
getting
decided to
talk
go
list.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Solve a dispute with the leaded ball inside. You take it out passive aggressively. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Things, money, more money, but what to do with money? Buy more things. Graphs. What about graphs? Using slides to show employees everything. Make sure slides has a flick. Oh my god. To do. Signage, core value, shift global marketing per monetize free to play. This is a game developing company because the guy pressed stuff on his keyboard. I have a feeling we shouldn't follow what the guy's telling us.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he walked down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Wait, this is a circle.
All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
What's happening?
None of it made any logical sense.
None of this makes any
logical
logical
sense. He began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Because it's a game.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes,
No,
they are.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all the
what
dream.
A relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't
just
actually
keep running
gone.
around.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Wait, he said
may as
boring.
well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
He said boring, so he doesn't like
He
it.
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh my god.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a
Wait, I can
magical
crouch back
star
down.
field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
This game is too much.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
Yes, I do.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
While I walk around
And
through a
while
room
he
of
thought it all
circles.
very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply
And how do
deceiving
stars
himself,
appear?
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Yes, because it's
After
boring to
all,
walk around through
He knew
rooms.
for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Do you guys get this at all? Because I'm mind boggled. Wait, I'm in the same spot. Hey, talk.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, okay. Jump scare? No?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Dead?
Though she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What about your ambulance? What about calling the ambulance? What do you mean loading? What happened? Talk. Voice, talk. I know nothing. Voice, please. I'm like... Oh wait, it's the same thing again. I want to push buttons.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wait, what?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hold on a second. This is the... Yay, room... I heard a peep. Room 420.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Come on. Come on. This game... I'm gonna touch everything now.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because I went to the right one last time. And at least the same thing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, great. You know everything I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to go up
Coming
because
to
I
a
went
staircase,
down.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because I went down last time. Oh my god. His boss's office is the classiest place ever. Hold on. Executive bathroom. Oh. No, I want to go to the bathroom. This is so cool. I like how the boss made it all neat and nice for himself. Executive's office. Why does he need two phones? Oh my god, that's cool. Nothing opens. Okay, great. This is huge. I want to work
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I am the most expensive boss.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hold on, let me read this. Sewage Lilies by Cloud Money. I'm the most expensive boss. Cart something. I don't know. Okay. That's cool. That went up and then. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? What is in this dark corner? Does it say something? I can't read it. It's too dark. This game is really hardcore. Like, I barely get to talk. The voice just narrates through this whole thing. I mean, I don't find it annoying. I rarely play games that are single player like this. So
descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never
because he ate Skittles.
This question would not go unanswered for long.
Sorry, we're just eating Skittles. Alright. Hello? Wait a second. There's not. See, I'm doing CSGO movements now. Alright, this is great.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, then he's being mind controlled. Escape. I mean, I want to escape, but I want to check this out too. Is that a computer? Oh, come on. It closed automatically, so I can't escape now.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Can I sit down?
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because I didn't escape. I mean, I'm strong, I'm brave. Camera. Computer screens with. Oh, hold on. Employee observation protocol. Blah 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 blah. I can't read. It's too small. Wait, is that binary? That's probably that's probably binary code. Same things. All right, let's push the only button here.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This is the big corporation. Wait, what's that? It's like interrupted. Oh wait. Employee 311. Where's employee 420? Found him. Up there. Nice office. What is this?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
Fired.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this
Employee
time?
fired.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Is this like the cold hard truth about video games or no?
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
I can't
own
accept
life in someone else's control?
Nope.
Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable.
Nope.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it even possible?
Yes.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Offline.
labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it
What is this
monitored
home?
and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
They're already pretty disabled, so. Okay, once and for all. We don't escape and become a chicken. I think you should do what the voice tells you, because, I mean, what does 5 do? Alright, anyway. Mind controls idle. Of awaiting input. What? They made like a CMD for mind controls. I want to read that. I want to read it. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to read it. I can't read it.
And
System
when at last
power.
he found the
On!
source of the room's... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
Oh, great.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Oh,
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start.
Yeah, I barely know who you are, too.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood.
That's the boss.
Anyway, I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't grow anywhere.
What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yes.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No, actually, because you're the one talking right now.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Why doesn't
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life.
Wait, is this what throws me into the city?
Happily ever up.
The end is never the end, so technically I think this game's never over. Nope. It's not. I'm gonna
All of its
try this again.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes. Where's the version where I get swallowed into the office floor? I would like that one, please. Man, I'm so glad I bought this game.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hold on. I know exactly what to do now.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yeah, of course.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What was the code again?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet.
Yeah.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Tell me.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
See, I know this guy talking is the boss, and the profile, the picture on the painting in the office is the boss, is the logo, the icon of the game. So I think the guy talking is the boss, not the boss. I'm actually the boss of this world, but the boss.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door.
How we just escape?
Mind control facility.
I'll just escape. Oh, let's go turn it off this time. I'm gonna do it fast and not get amazed by all the storyline.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Television?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did
I don't
he have
know.
the strength to find out?
Yes, I do. I think even if we make it no or yes, it's gonna explode anyway, so.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
How much does making a room like this cost?
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yep. This was a good game. Like it.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
Maybe.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe.
Here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Did the game crash? No. I turned it off, I mean.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
So I was right
As
here.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
It does.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
What is this? This is so weird. Why are there no lights?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the
I can't
feeling
control
of
him anymore.
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Achievement unlocked. Wow. Dang. Wait. Does it keep restarting you here in your office?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, thank you guys for watching this. I don't know how long this episode was, but it was 30 minutes. It was pretty long, but I think it's a pretty good game, and I really enjoyed playing it. So this is episode 1. I think maybe there are other possibilities we could explore in the game. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, and leave a like down below if you did. Tell me in the comments what you think, and I will see you later.